Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. Now, today we've got 3 videos for you today. All 3 are with commentary, and all 3 are for the new season tanks. So you're going to get one now, one in the a little bit later, and one a little bit later after that. So we're going to go up the ranks. So this video we are going to look at the tier 7 in the new season, and it's the baby E100. Yeah, it's a baby. Look at it. It is literally a mini E100. It is, of course, the E10. Now, those of you that are looking at this will actually sit there and think, you know what, that's actually E100. To be honest, having played it, doesn't quite feel like the E100. Doesn't quite feel, I know it's tier 7, but doesn't quite feel like it's got the armor that the E100 has. So we're going to look at the stats, we're going to get into a game, and then we're going to decide whether it is worth it. Now, of course, it's always worth it if you do get it for free. Usually the first one you can get for free. You can sort of get all the way up. You can get all the equipment. And of course it is much better if you do get max equipment. So we are looking at all of these tanks with the max. So your turret is 196 on your front, so the turret actually isn't so bad. You've got to bear in mind your tier 7, so it will play like the E100. So as long as you angle your turret, then yeah, your turret will be quite strong. And the same as your hull. The hull is quite strong, however the lower plate is quite weak, just like the E100. So that part, that sense, yeah, it is very similar to the E100. It's more the sides, you know, the sides are quite weak on this, and you're going to see the game that I actually have. I get obliterated, literally obliterated, and I don't bounce that much, but I wasn't in really no position to bounce. I come out sideways in against some tanks, so yeah, the armor profile didn't really feel like it worked for me. So yeah, the armor on paper isn't too bad. Now the DPM, of course, it is low, 1779. That is almost, well, it's a 13.5 second reload. So penetration 184 on your AP, 237 on your heat, and 81 on your HE. Now the average damage, you've got a 400 alpha gun. Of course, it's not going to have the 600 plus gun that the E100 has got, because I do think that will be kind of OP. However, I do think it should have. I think it should have the big alpha. Why not? You know, you've got the SU-152, you've got the object 268 in tier 10 pretty much does the same alpha, so why not give it the same alpha? Why not? Maybe a little bit lower, but I do think it should have a little bit higher alpha, but it is what it is. You've got the 340 sort of 340 damage on your heat and 500 on your HE. So yeah, you could do the 500. It just means you've got to shoot a bit of HE. And 81 pen for HE isn't bad. Of course we are running calibrated shells. Aim time and the gun dispersion obviously are both poor at 4.5 and 0.407. And again, the gun depression, like the E100, isn't the greatest at just 6 degrees. The same as the speed at 32 kilometers per hour. Personally, I do like these event tanks. You know, you can get them for free. Of course, you can get them a bit quicker if you do buy bundles and etc, etc. But yeah, I like the fact that Wargaming are making copied tanks and bringing them in as sort of premium collectible tanks. Not as good, obviously. The E100, yeah, it's the E10. Love the fact that they're renaming these tanks so that they are almost they're very similar to their tier 10 counterparts or other tanks that other tiers that they are that they're doing. So we're going to get into a game, and then we're going to see if I actually do like the tank or I actually think the tank sucks. Now, we are coming up against tier 6. Now, again, I struggled in this game. I'm not going to lie, I did struggle in this game. I don't do the best amount of damage, and overall, I don't think the tank is like, it is great. I don't think it's amazing. And this is only up against tier 6. If we come up against tier 8s, then yeah, I don't think it would be a great tank at all. Against tier 6, it's okay. Against tier 8s, I think you will struggle just a little bit. So we're going to push the right side. Again, it's quite a slow tank. I'm going to get myself into a position where I'm just going to get penetrated by everyone. Literally, I'm going to lose most of my hit points very, very early on. So this is my first game in it, and I wanted to play it as an E100, and that is what I'm trying to do. I want to play it as an E100. I want to try and angle like an E100 if I can, just to see how much it compares to an E100. So of course we do, I don't know what that MT25 was doing, but that tier 6 there, I mean that buggy, he penetrated me very easy there, like very easy, and that is a tier 6. We're going to come out sort of at an angle, and you can see that they, yeah, I'm just getting penetrated by everyone. Literally, I've lost half of my hit points straight away, and I haven't bounced a single shot. So I'm going to push a little bit more forward, yeah, because at this point, I was kind of in the mind that, okay, it's over. And the penetration, you could see, like, yeah, I mean, the aim time, the dispersion as well, that really did suck there. But yeah, you know, I couldn't really penetrate that guy. And yeah, he's a tier 7. But yeah, I thought I would be able to penetrate him a lot easier than I could. But I do take care of the buggy there, so that is at least one tank down. I'm not too bothered about this 45 TP. He's not pushing. I do have my tanks behind, so he's not going to push. And again, this VK here, I am sideways, so I did not expect to bounce that guy at all. So we have bounced 290 though. We have bounced at least once, but I'm now a one-shot. I've only on 900 damage. So at this point, I've kind of just given up on the game, to be fair. This match, I have kind of given up on. But I do manage to come back a little bit and do a little bit more damage. So we are up to 1300 damage. We have blocked 500 damage. We do bring the 45 TP down to a one-shot, and then our Bazzotto does manage to take him out. And I'm just going to back up to see if we can get the shot on the Churi. No, we can't, because he's also backing up. So I'm just going to wait. You know, I'm going to, again, try and angle. This is where I do need a high roll, or at least an average roll. And again, that did pay off. So now it's a 3 versus 2, you know. At least we broke the 2k damage, which I didn't think we were going to do earlier on. Now, I could have gone for the Vindicator there to actually clear him, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to go with the KV2 because he's the easier shot, and it brings him down to a one-shot. And again, I'm just going to hide, and as soon as I reload, now the reload, even though it is 13.5 seconds, it does actually feel a little bit quicker than 13.5 seconds. It doesn't feel too bad. I thought that is something where this tank would really suffer, is that reload, but you know, it does go quite quickly, a lot quicker than you think. But overall, it is no E100. I know it's a tier 7, but yeah, you still have to play it like an E100, because it is really an E100, but in tier 7. But I absolutely love the E100 in tier 10, but this just does not do it for me. Now, of course, I do need more games. I do need to get it into positions where you can angle that turret, you can hide the hole. Sadly, I couldn't do it in that game, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a free tank for most people, so you can't complain. And I'm sure a lot of people, they love the E100, so they are going to want to get the baby E100 here. The miniature E100 is coming up, and by the time the video is released, you can actually start there with this season and trying to get the tank. So if you have the tank already, or if you're looking at getting the tank, let me know in the comments below. But for now, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Again, we're going to video in the next few hours of the next tank, which is the, I'm assuming it's called the Death Star. It does look like a Death Star, but of course it isn't a Death Star. So join me for that in the next couple of hours. But for now, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm meadsy69, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye bye.